Hey, hey. Hi guys, welcome back. All right, so Pisces, I'm so sorry. I almost forgot about you guys. I thought I did yours earlier in the first half of the day, and I so apologize that I failed and did not get to you guys until way late tonight. You should have been right after Aquarius, but I'm sorry, that's where I took a break. And then I had to take a nap in the middle of the day. I'm so sorry, guys. I've been moving all week. That's why I've been away. I'm in a new place. If it sounds echoey, I'm sorry. I just haven't fully unboxed everything, but I did, of course, get the internet turned on and get everything set up so I could finally get back to doing some videos. I missed you guys. Thanks for your patience. Shout out to EM, by the way. I'm sure you were wondering where the heck this Pisces one was. But anyway, it's great to be back with you guys. So with that in mind, let's go ahead and we're going to take a peek at kind of like the end of the year, anything to like wrap up or give a little bit of extra attention to for Pisces. And then also because last night, when I did a collective message, the North Node card had come out. And I said, in today's videos, why don't we go ahead and do a North Node message? So at the end of this, we'll also touch base on a North Node message, which will be different than this message, right? You'd have to check out your placements and see where your North Node is. Likely, even if you're a Sun, Moon, Rising or something in Pisces, you wouldn't also be a Pisces North Node, right? It could be anywhere. So you'll want to probably watch the other zodiac, that resonates with whatever your North Node is. RT, so wonderful to see you, babe. So glad to catch you. Mary Jones, hi, honey. All right, so here we go. So what do we have for kind of a wrap up? We have a Page of Cups, we have the World in the reverse, and we have the Death card sideways. Wrapping something up here. It's hard to do when we have the World in the reverse, isn't it? That actually says this was the never ending cycle. This is something where I actually think it was a situation that never got off the ground. So there wasn't a beginning nor an end. But maybe there needs to be, or just an acknowledgement that maybe not now. Maybe there's no beginning, so there isn't an ending. Maybe nothing ever got started. This was the opportunity that didn't manifest. This is the kind of like just moment of stillness instead of what could have happened. It almost feels like somebody missed an opportunity or hasn't yet taken an opportunity. I don't see it necessarily as Pisces. I see it as Pisces holding their breath, thinking that maybe a Capricorn or a Scorpio was gonna, speak to them, step up, say something, but they didn't. That's what I would say. And it's like, okay, they didn't yet. Well, the future is unwritten. Will they? Will they not? Who knows? But with the Death card sideways, there's no need to end anything if nothing ever got started in the first place. If something didn't blossom, it means that the potential is still there, but there's also no reason to hold one's breath, is kind of the way I would look at that. So this could relax the energy, possibly, because it's not about letting go of anybody. It's not about anticipating anybody. Page of Swords, it's actually a time for critical thinking instead. Okay, so hang on. What is it that might come to light if our character looks at things a little more closely? Sun in the reverse. Did we even have enough information on something, enough clarity to determine if something was the end all be all? This might say that no, maybe our character didn't have enough indicator that this was going to be fabulous or a flop, depending on someone's action. We may have had a Leo involved. This could have been about a person. And I say that because with the Page of Cups, there's like this little interest. This could also have been, will I ever hear an apology for somebody? Just because we haven't yet doesn't mean we won't ever. But there's really no point in waiting on it because I just feel like there's not enough data here. There is no clarity. I kind of think that somebody confused Pisces with their intentions. Do they like me? Do they not? Are they trying to say sorry? Is this a weird ass backwards way of trying to say sorry? I don't know. Maybe I don't know this person well enough to read their body language, or maybe they're intentionally obtuse, or maybe there's somebody that they don't know what they're doing. So how the hell can I know what they're going to do? So all of this feels kind of like a nothing burger, but looking at it like that kind of diffuses it, right? if there's nothing to stress out about and there's nothing to like fret over, then we can just let it go and be like, who knows? Nothing's happened with it yet. This is one of those situations to set off to the sidelines. We don't have to be irritated. We don't have to be hurt. We don't have to be disappointed. We don't have to forget about it, nor do we have to deal with it. Because right now it is just like, you know how like in physics they talk about, potential energy. If the boulder is sitting at the top of the hill, but it hasn't been pushed, so it hasn't started rolling downhill yet, then there is potential energy, but there is no velocity yet. There's nothing to start calibrating. There's nothing to measure other than, I guess weight, mass, and it just sits there, but there's no action yet because there's no force being applied. By the way, if I just said that all crooked and sideways, I never took physics. By the way, I took a lot of chemistry, but I never took physics. So forgive me if I just misapplied any term there. But, chemistry kind of gives you a little baby introduction to everything. But we've got this 9 of Swords. I kind of think this is something that had been stressing out our character. And I think that's why it's time to de-stress this topic. Where is the stress coming from? Is it because there's been no action? Is this one of those people or scenarios where it's like Pisces has been gnashing their teeth going, yeah, that's what pisses me off, is it's a big old nothing burger, yet somehow I kind of found myself waiting and wondering on it. This says, who cares? Who cares? We got better stuff to do, especially moving into the winter months. This is great. Now, keep in mind, I'm in the northern hemisphere, so of course I see the polar bears, and I think, cold and, our temperature is going to be changing pretty soon. So I'm looking at it as like winter, but obviously our character could be in the southern hemisphere. But the point is still the same. It's time to de-stress something and maybe put this on ice, maybe just put these things out of Pisces' mind for right now. Yeah, see, they got other fish to fry, especially as we close out this year. I think Pisces could be a busy little bee. And if somebody has more or less been wasting their time, not coming forward with a love offer nor an apology, not really making much effort yet, then instead of being distressed about it or fretting over it, it's like, are you kidding? Pisces has so much going on. They have so many other flowers to visit. They have so many other tasks to perform. They've got other honey to make. Look, there's a lot of other bees in the beehive. This could be it's time to date others. This could be it's time to just turn one's attention to other work, other things, 4 of Swords, and get plenty of time to snuggle in to our comfy little beds and get extra rest and take care of oneself. I do think that this situation was taking its toll on Pisces, maybe because of the indecisiveness. I mean, look, I would be stressy over stuff like that too. There's nothing more annoying than like not knowing what's going to happen next. Before I moved into this place, I didn't have a move-in date. I had already put the money down on this. At the end of August, beginning of August, but I didn't have an actual move-in date. And it was originally supposed to be October, like mid-October. And then I like touched base to be like, hey, it would be a great time for me to start moving if it's available. And then it just like happened within 24 hours. So it all, like I had planned it, but we never had an actual date because there were other things up in the air with other people and work that had to be done and all things. But that nothing stresses me out more than like, it's happening, but I don't know when. Like just to give me peace of mind, I need to know when. And I had to really contain my stress and say, don't stress. It'll happen when it's the right time. And then if you need to touch base and try to ask a question, at some point, go ahead and do that. And it all worked like clockwork. But still, my point of sharing that personal, like I'm empathizing with this character right now. Anytime we don't have answers, I can understand how that would be stressful. Now, this might have been about love or like the example I was just giving of my own self. Maybe it's more about like, when is something going to happen in Pisces' life? When are they going to get the call back? When is something going to happen? And that's really hard to be left in limbo. But it says, if our character says, I'm not in limbo, it's actually not on my plate right now, so I don't need to address it. I just need to turn my attention over here. and I have other things to do, including take care of me. Now I have a task, and I like this task. I like the taking care of me, listening to the messages from the universe, and working hard on things that really I can influence in my own life. So I kind of like the fact that we're shifting the focus off of somebody else's non-action and giving the focus back to Pisces and what they can do with their life's energy, especially to wrap up this year. Because I think Pisces does some pretty awesome stuff with that Eight of Pentacles being there. Pisces is totally going to find their sense of peace. They're going to be like much smoother, much calmer. I kind of think, I don't know, does somebody live in an area where they hear little froggies at night? I love the sound of frogs singing. That is probably one of my most favorite things. Frogs and crickets at night. Oh, I just love that. I think it's some of the nicest little music. But that just comes across to me like Pisces, like heart rate's going to be like calmer, and they're going to be less stressed, and they're going to be allowing themselves to say, maybe it's nice that nothing is happening other than the things I'm making happen at the moment. Maybe this is a blessing. I don't know. We could look at it as frustrating, or we could look at it as something beautiful. And I'm glad that this Pisces seems to be looking at it in a different way. It looks very peaceful. We have a King of Cups upright. This is our Pisces taking on an active role in their life also, especially as we're starting to close out this year. This is Pisces, really shifting gears into like, wait a second, I'm totally in charge, and I'm in love with my life, and I'm in love with the things I've been creating, and I want for nothing, and I'm very content, and I have a lot going on. And God, I'm glad I had some time to take care of me. If this has been a lover who's not ready to come into Pisces world, it is a blessing, because Pisces has needed some time just for themselves for this. And it might not be for very long, but I think Pisces is going to be like, oh my God, this has been like the best time I've had in a long time. Lisa, you angel, thank you so much. Lisa Boyle just gifted 5 memberships. Shell Hamilton, Holly Counts, Divine Feminine 1111, excuse me. Alana Williams and Simona Mihai. You guys, you're all members now, courtesy of Lisa. Thank you so much, Lisa. Just so you guys know, that means you'll want to, especially before next Monday rolls around, you'll want to take a look at the playlist called Members. And every Monday is when I do our Members Day. And I always post a video every Monday that's just for members. And in that video every Monday, I kind of explain how we do things in the Members Corner. And there's lots of little things that we do for members. So I don't want you guys to miss out. So somewhere between now and next Monday, pop onto the Members playlist. You'll notice the most recent members video will be there at the top of the list. And even if you just watch the intro to that, where I kind of explain how we do things, that'll get you all set. So then you guys can participate in the Members Corner. Comments are on over there on all the members' videos as well. But thank you guys so much, and welcome. Lisa, thank you, sweetheart. Lisa, can I do a little thank you for you on Monday and do a little card pull for you, babe? Please let me know if that's all right with you. You guys are so, so kind, so generous. All right, let me go ahead, and for our Pisces, I do want to shift over. Actually, I want one more card out of this before we go to the North Node message. Okay, so we have a 9 of Wands. This is like all about being a wounded warrior that's not so wounded after all, much more warrior. You see the little pricklies that he's got, he's well defended, let's put it that way. And I kind of think that if the crux of this is that somebody was wasting our Pisces time, they're not anymore. Pisces has learned how to protect their time and their peace of mind a little bit. And I think that's maybe another big lesson. It doesn't mean they don't let anybody in. In fact, Pisces is very loving, but I think it is so nice to see that they've turned their attention to them for just a minute, and they've learned how to, just with that porcupine quill, how to keep a little bit of protection for themselves. Lisa, you're so sweet. You're so sweet. Aries says, thank you, honey. And I will see you on Monday, Lisa. Hang on. I just want to add your name right now. Okay. All right, sweetheart, I will see you. Let me make sure. Yes. I had to make sure that I'm putting that in the right part of my little notebook paper, so I know it's on this channel. All right, you guys, let me turn our attention now to the North Node message. So, North Node, and again, astrologers don't necessarily all agree on North Node, South Node. Some say it's not even anything at all. It's imaginary locations on the moon. So it's these lunar points, right? And there's a North Node and a South Node. And there's different interpretations on how you can look at that as well. The one that I prefer, so the one that I go with, is the concept that the South Node placement is kind of what we come into this world with, our natural aptitudes, our gifts, our talents, the things that we are already familiar with because of our past life experiences. And so kind of like the core of like what we are already comfortable in, whether it's good, bad, or ugly, still it's what we're like we have a comfort zone with because it's familiar. Whereas the North Node is what we're here to achieve in this lifetime. So what we're striving to like evolve into, the lessons we are leaning toward, and the things that push us to get out of our comfort zone. So with that in mind, someone with a North Node of Pisces would be somebody who's like really very, very much about like supporting like other people's growth in addition to their own. There's a sense of individuality, but then there's also this huge sense of like support and, assisting in personal growth as well. Not only just their own, but others in addition. So there's kind of a really nice energy here of like, I keep picturing like somebody who's like carrying others on their wings, not protecting others and sheltering, but lifting others on their wings. So we'll just kind of keep all that in mind as we take a look at a North Node and Pisces message, if that's what our character is like evolving into. We have got the Knight of Cups, we've got the Ace of Swords, and we've got the Six of Pentacles. Okay, so Knight of Cups is this action oriented, right? I'm taking charge. I'm moving forward, especially for things that I feel fulfill me, emotional satisfaction. The Ace of Swords is I'm discovering what I want, and I'm truthful with myself about why I'm doing this. Why am I climbing this mountain? And it's also to like go after it fearlessly. And then with the Six of Pentacles, I kind of feel like, do we have a character, Pisces North Node that would be more willing to advocate for the relationship that they want, pursue the soulmate that they want, reach out to the soulmate that they want, be the first person to send a message, to say how their heart feels, to say, I feel this really interesting connection to you, or I miss you. I want to be back in your world. I want to interact with you. It feels like the North Node placement would be a character who's more willing to pursue what they actually want and like not pull any punches about it. This is what I'm here for. This is what I want. This is how I want to interact. Can I do this with you? And just even in like matters of business, matters of love, anything and everything, if our Pisces cares about it, then they go for it because they're honest with themselves. I want this. There's definitely more drive here for one's own personal, like positive outcome. And actually, I really like that for our character, but it looks like there's a lot more intention in this ending part of this year. All right, you guys, I'm going to leave this here. Thank you guys so much. Laverne, hi, honey. Yael Rubin, thank you so much. I think between Yael and Lisa and Chrissy and Shariza Ali, I think that there have been, oh my God, like 20 or more gifted memberships today. Thank you guys so, so much. You are so generous with each other. You're so generous with me. I so appreciate you. Thank you guys. Thank you, everybody. Gee, so good to see you. Miranda, hi, sweetheart. Thank you again, Lisa. And welcome everybody that's a new member. Irma, hi, honey. Old Soul Chloe, love your name. Fortuna, thank you for being here. Hi, Lance. Bellum B. Yale, thank you. Mary Jones. I don't know, RT. There seems to be an overall connectiveness in all the zodiacs today. I don't know. I felt like they all had pretty different messages. There's like two or three maybe that had something a little bit similar, but um, I don't know. I don't know. To me, they were all pretty different. Anyway, you guys, thank you so much for hanging with me tonight. Lots of love, you guys. Bye.